what we have done is this, that first you understand the history of this act, history of act, then how it amended, how it amended, right? Then we have done classes of revenue officer, right? Then we have covered classes of revenue codes. We have done some important definitions, right? Basically, in this, we have done what do you mean by agriculture year? We have done what do you mean by firstly year? Now, what do you mean by term tenure holder? What do you mean by term khatoni, khasra, and map? We called it naksha. Naksha. This is what we have done. ठीक है भाई, वी आर डूइंग रेवेन्यू क्लासेस और ऑफिसर्स. हमने इसमें एसडीओ अच्छे से पढ़ा है, इसमें हमने कलेक्टर को अच्छे से पढ़ा है, हमने इसमें तहसीलदार को अच्छे से पढ़ा है. व्हाट डज इट मीन? बेसिकली पावर्स हम इनकी ऐड ऑन करते रहेंगे. पावर्स भी वैसे हमने पढ़ी है इनकी. वी हैव कानूनगो एंड वी हैव स्टडीड लेखपाल और वी कॉल पटवारी, है ना. नहीं, आप तहसीलदार, कलेक्टर, असिस्टेंट कलेक्टर, एसोसिएट कलेक्टर, ये सब भी पढ़े. डोंट वरी अबाउट इट. This is all we have done, and after that we have covered topic types of tenure holder. Types of tenure holder. So when I was teaching you types of tenure holder, tab I have told you tenure holders prior to UPZA, right? 14 types of tenure holders. Then tenure holders in UPZA, and then we understand the concept of tenure holders in UP Revenue Code. Tenure holders in UP Revenue Code 2016, right? When we were doing UP Revenue Hold, tenure holder in UP Revenue Code, we have tried to understand basically there are 4 types of tenure holder. That is Bhumidar with transferable rights, Bhumidar with non-transferable rights, Assami, and government lessees. Right. This I have taught you. And thereafter, 7th point I have taught you is the rights of tenure holder. Tenure holder. So we have understand Bhumidar transferable rights, Bhumidar with non-transferable rights, and Assami. So we have understand these 3 and their rights. Their rights in brief. So we have understand to make a list. We have understand it, or we have made a list at what right these tenure holders have. You have remember this? This is what we have covered till now in last classes. Today we will be moving forward further with this concept only. That is now the rights of tenure holder in details. So we will be studying the rights of different tenure holders and different subheadings with detail. So basically today's class of discussion will be rights of a tenure holder. ठीक है, यहाँ तक किसी को प्रॉब्लम? प्लीज एनी पर्सन वांट टू आस्क एनीथिंग टिल हियर, वो पूछ सकते हैं. ठीक है, let us go into the rights of a tenure holder. तो बेसिकली आई विल पिक अप दी वन बाय वन राइट्स, फिर उसको समझेंगे वो कहाँ कहाँ अवेलेबल है, कैसे कैसे अवेलेबल है, और उसके क्या क्या कॉन्सिक्वेंसेज हैं, और उसके क्या क्या इफेक्ट्स हैं. ठीक है, तो फर्स्ट राइट इज दैट आई हैव डिस्कस्ड with you is right to have an exclusive possession. Right to have exclusive possession. The right to have exclusive possession is available to all three. That is, it is available to Bhumidhar with transferable rights, Bhumidhar with non-transferable rights, and Assami. This right of exclusive possession is available to all Bhumidhar with non-transferable rights, Bhumidhar with transferable rights, and Assamese. When I say right of tenure holder, when I say this right, what does it basically mean? Right of exclusive possession, what does basically general, before getting into the provisions where it is provided, what does basically this right mean? In general layman language, if you try to understand, if in layman language, if you try to understand, what does it mean? That is,
use of land.
हाँ जी बोलिए.
Sir, maybe मतलब इसका मतलब होगा sir, use of land, that you are in exclusive use of this land and you can exclude other from using the same.
Exactly, that every tenure holder have a complete access of their land. तो जनरली जो हमारा होता है अपने घर पे एक्सक्लूसिव राइट, तो एवरी tenure holder have complete right over its holding. This is basic general means. That is, they can exclude anyone. They can exclude others to interfere. This is general terminology. In layman language, if this line is written, this is the meaning of this line. But if you try to understand in the context of Bhumidhar with transferable right, Bhumidhar with non-transferable right is Assami. The principles may change, may vary with the categories of the type of a tenure holder. So basically, Bhumidhar with transferable rights, this right is given under section 79 clause 1. With regard to Bhumidhar with the non-transferable rights, this is given under section 79 clause 2. And with regard to Assami, this concept is given under section 84. So let us read these sections and find out what is the basic difference. So in general, what the word right to exclusive possession means, every person have a right to use his property for any purposes. Okay? And he can exclude others also. But when it's come to right to Bhumidhar with transferable rights, Assami, and Bhumidhar with non-transferable rights, though this right exists in each of the tenure holder, so all three tenure holder have this right, but there is certain variations with regard to this terminology that is exclusive. So let us first of all understand Bhumidhar with the transferable rights. Section 79 ka clause 2. Let us read section 79 clause 1 for the purpose of Bhumidhar with transferable rights. How many people have Bear Act, please? How many people have Bear Act this? Please raise your hand. How many people have Bear Act? How many people does not have Bear Act?
Yes, sir, I have.
चलिए ठीक है, वेरी गुड, थैंक यू. सिर्फ हैंड रेस करके बता दीजिए कितने लोगों के पास बेयर एक्ट है. हैंड रेस करिएगा प्लीज. वेरी गुड, थैंक यू आयुष, थैंक यू राजदीप. 2 लोगों के पास है सिर्फ? नहीं है, ज्यादा लोगों के पास. आधा. वेरी गुड, थैंक यू. आधा है, ठीक है. आकृति है, चलिए 3 लोग हो गए. चलिए अंकित है, 4 हो गए. चलिए, तो आउट ऑफ 52 वी हैव 4, so we can reach it to 10. Maximum 10 लोग होंगे जिनके पास बेयर एक्ट है. दिस शोज हाउ सीरियस यू आर अबाउट माय सब्जेक्ट, है ना. कोई बात नहीं, चलिए. हाउ सीरियस यू आर अबाउट माय सब्जेक्ट डज नॉट अफेक्ट माय seriousness. I am very serious about this subject. चलिए, Bhumidhar with transferable rights. A Bhumidhar with transferable rights shall, subject to the provision of this code, have a right to exclusive possession of all land of which he is such a Bhumidhar and to use it for any purpose. So clause 1 basically talking when they say Bhumidhar, so basically they mean say Bhumidhar with transferable rights. This is what this is. Fifth, the Bhumidhar with transferable right shall subject to the provision of this code. Shall subject to provision of this code. Have right to exclusive possession of all land. First, right to have exclusive possession. Firstly, secondly, and use it for any purpose whatsoever. And use it for any purpose whatsoever. Try to understand. Subject to the provision of this code. Basically, what does it mean? Section 79, clause 1 says Bhumidhar right to have an exclusive possession is a not absolute right. Rather, it is to be subject to the code. When I say subject to the code, which example? For example, Bhumidhar with transferable right cannot mortgage or lease generally. When I say generally, special provisions हैं उसको हम बात तो पढ़ेंगे but example कह रहा हूँ. तो when I say right to use exclusive possession, that means I have right to transfer, I have right to sale, I have right to gift, I have right to will, I have do anything. I have right to lease, I have right to mortgage. ठीक है. When I say right to exclusive possessions, मतलब that means use of land for any purpose. Use of land for sale, lease, mortgage, transfer, gift, etc. It can be anything, exchange, etc. So many. So I have a right of exclusive possession. My right of exclusive possession include everything that is attached to the body, but it is subject to the provision of this code. So that means there are certain provisions, and we are going to study that provisions. Don't worry. कुछ अभी पढ़ेंगे, कुछ आगे और पढ़ेंगे. So there are certain provisions on which this right of exclusive possession is subject. That is not an absolute right as we understand in a general term. So, like a general right, it is not exclusive right. First, but yes, subject to the provision that is if you comply, if you fulfill the conditions that are given into the different provisions of the UP Revenue Code, and we will study those provisions. Don't worry about that. Whatever the conditions are given into that provisions, if all these are being complied of, all those are being fulfilled, yes, you have a right to possess the property. For example, you cannot have agricultural land beyond 12.5 acre. है ना? तो 5.1 hectares से ऊपर नहीं हो सकता. That is an exclusive right. You cannot use property beyond that. Right. Next, we have understand last class also that there are certain property on which Bhumadari rights will not ever be evolved. Remember, for example, zameen of pasture land, government grant land, on which khalian, pond, on which Bhumidhari rights will never be originated. तो दैट ऑल्सो दिस इज यू वहां पे भी वो सब्जेक्ट हो गया एक्सक्लूसिव पोजेशन का. अब नेक्स्ट इज यूज इट फॉर एनी पर्पस व्हाटसोएवर. Once you are comply with these provisions, that is once you fulfill the conditions which are given under this act, you can use it land for any purpose whatsoever. When I say use it land for any purpose whatsoever, that means you can use your land for agriculture or non-agriculture purpose. That is industry, school, college, etc. Businesses, anything, whatever you want to do. So once you comply with, and this right is available to Bhumidhar with transferable rights. To those people who are Bhumidhar with transferable rights, if they fulfill these conditions of Section 79 Clause 1 and the other provisions of the Act, then yes, they can use their property for any purpose. We will try to understand this purpose whatsoever. Abhi hum padhenge. When say I whatsoever, I generally make you understand that whatsoever means you can use it for agriculture purpose and you can use it for non-agriculture purpose. How you will use it for non-agriculture purpose? ये just एक बार हम कंप्लीट कर लें इस टॉपिक को, फिर वहीं आएंगे कि पर्पस whatsoever, what does it mean, how to change it. तो बेसिकली 79 क्लॉज 1 भूमिधर विद ट्रांसफर राइट्स को एक्सक्लूसिव राइट देता है, वो ये सबसे बड़ा राइट है. If you just we come to the next provision of 79 clause 2, we will see this right get shredded, this right gets lesser, or this right get shrink to certain limits. ठीक है, तो वो lower down हो रहा है right को, अभी पढ़ेंगे. Let us read into, now let us see section 79 clause 2, भूमिधर with non-transferable rights. Section 79 clause 2, Bhumidhar with non-transferable rights. The right of exclusive possession with regard to Bhumidhar with non-transferable rights. What is the situation? The situation is given under section 79 clause 2. Let us read section 79 clause 2. A Bhumidhar with non-transferable right shall, so this is again shall, mandatory provision, same language, subject to the provision of this code. We have understand the meaning of this. Subject to provision of the code, we have understand the firstly. Have right of exclusive possession. This have also we have understand, have right to exclusive possession. So similarly, like Bhumidhar with the transferable rights, Bhumidhar with non-transferable right also have, subject to the provision of this code, right of exclusive possession. This we have understand. What further it says, and use such land for any purpose connected with agriculture. Now this is the change. This is use land for any purpose connected to agriculture only. Agriculture. This is the change. This is the change. That is Bhumidhar with non-transferable rights, right to use the property for exclusive possession is limited only for the agriculture purposes. That is, he cannot use his holding than any purpose, can use his holding any purpose other than agriculture. This is the difference. This is how I says that this right gets shrinked with regard to Bhumidhar with non-transferable rights. So when it's come to the condition of Bhumidhar with non-transferable rights, this is you have right to exclusive possession, but your right to exclusive possession is limited to your agriculture purpose. That is, if you want to use this land for any other purpose, for example, industry, school, colleges, you want to change the nature of this property, you cannot change it. So Bhumidhar with transferable rights cannot change their nature of their land. Whereas Bhumidhar with transferable rights have a right, they have a freedom to change their nature, nature of their land. Right. This is what is the difference between Bhumidhar with transferable right and Bhumidhar with non-transferable rights. Let us read Assami also. section 84, and then we will do a combined study what is the major differences between these rights. Bhumidhar with non-transferable rights and Assami rights are approximately same, approximately with related to exclusive possession. They are similar. So what, but they are given differently under section 84. Section 84 talk about the right of Assami for exclusive possession. What this is. Let us read section 84 and find out what this is saying. Section 84. An Assami shall, subject to the provision of this code, have right to exclusive possession of all land comprised in his holding. So this is similar to, this language is similar to section 79 clause 2. This is same 79 clause 2 की तरह, यानी कि भूमिधर with non-transferable rights. What this is, what section 84 says, Assami shall, subject to provision of this code, have exclusive right of possession they have exclusive right of the possession, and it can use for any purpose. It can be used for any purpose connected to agriculture only. Same like, so when it comes to Bhumidhar with non-transferable rights and Assami rights, their right of exclusive possession is same. Whereas Bhumidhar with transferable rights, exclusive possession is higher than these two. So one thing we have to understand that Bhumidhar with transferable or Bhumidhar with non-transferable right can use his property only for agriculture purpose. Agriculture के बीच में वो कुछ भी करे. He want to do grow business. He want to do that cultivation. He can do that. He want to go for plantation. He is allowed. He want to go for fisheries. He is allowed. He want to go for poetry. He is allowed. He want to go for animal husbandry. Allowed. He want to go for horticulture. Allowed. Honeybee, bee rearing, anything he can do. Similarly for Assami also. But so basically, Bhumidhar with non-transferable rights and Assami have similar rights. When I say have a similar right, what does it mean basically? It means if you see what will happen, now question arises, what will happen if Bhumidhar with non-transferable rights or Assami uses his property other than agriculture purpose? You know? What if Bhumidhar with non-transferable rights or Assami uses its land for other purpose than agriculture? What will happen? What will happen to this? क्या
इजेक्टमेंट हो जाएगा, उनको निकाल दिया जाएगा अगर मतलब लैंड का कुछ गलत इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं, इस पे कोई बिल्डिंग बना दी है, और अगर लैंड का कुछ यूज ही नहीं कर रहे हैं तो अबॉन्डन कर दिया जाएगा तहसीलदार के द्वारा.
हम अनयूज पे तो जाएंगे नहीं अभी, हम तो सिर्फ ये देख रहे हैं कि भूमिधर इज यूज इट्स लैंड फॉर अदर पर्पस देन एग्रीकल्चर. ऑब्वियसली तो फर्स्ट कंडीशन, सेकंड कंडीशन तो बात को आएगी जब वो अबट छोड़ देता है. अभी तो हम इस पे, तो दिस इज अ केस ऑफ इजेक्टमेंट. इजेक्टमेंट विल बी डन. Ejectment will be done to Bhumidhar with non-transferable rights and Assami. Okay, the provisions of ejectment is given under section 85 of UP Revenue Code. So he will get ejected as per the, so either Bhumidhar with non-transferable rights or Assami is not using its property for agriculture purpose. Yani कि they are contravening the provisions of section 79 clause 2, or if they are contravening the conditions of section 84, then against them there will be a proceeding of ejectment. And what is the proceeding of ejectment? That is given under section 85. Let us go into section 85 and find out ejectment. How many people are from UP here? Whether they are going to practice in UP, or they have connections with UP, or they are trying to be judge in UP, anything in UP, they are connected to Uttar Pradesh. How many people are there? Only Anshul is there. Very good. 2 is there. 3. Yeah, Anshul. I think बहुत सारे लोग होंगे, ठीक है, बट मुझे सुन कम लोग रहे हैं बेसिकली, है ना. तो अगर आप जस्ट होल्ड, आप ये समझ लीजिए कि अगर आप यूपी से बिलोंग करते हैं, this law has more importance than CPC and CRPC in your life, believe me, and Indian Evidence Act, firstly. Secondly, you want to find any person, if अगर कोई यूपी में प्रैक्टिस कर रहा है, शायद अंशुल कर रहा है because he knows this, you won't find any person knowing this law very well, है ना. तो you will always have an edge upon that अगर आपको ये law आता है अच्छे से, because this is यूपी में तो सारा कुछ है. और अगर आप किसी और स्टेट से बिलोंग करते हैं तभी भी इसका बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट रोल है, because no doubt there is no UP revenue code in any other state, but another state's land laws is based upon UP revenue code only, don't worry. तो वहां भी आपको हेल्प मिलने वाली. तो you must show your interest in this class. I know it's very hard to show the interest in UP ZA LR Act. Very, very, very hard. I know that. Good. चलिए, this is entertainment. हमें कुछ तो entertainment मिल रहा है. चलिए, let us go into section 85. What is the consequences of using the land in contravention to the provisions of this code? So basically, we are focusing upon section 79 clause 2 and section 84 का अगर contravention होता है तब क्या होगा? What this is? Where a Bhumidhar with non-transferable rights uses his holding or part thereof in contravention to the provisions of section 79, he shall, notwithstanding anything contained in any other provision of this code, be liable to be ejectment. देखिए, तो सबसे पहले क्या है? 85 का clause 1, simple. Contravention of section 79 clause 1, liable to be Bhumidhar with non-transferable right, liable to be ejected. When I say ejected, that is बेदखल, ठीक है, उसको बेदखल कर दिया जाएगा. Notwithstanding anything contained in any other provisions of this code, be liable to be ejectment from such holding or a part of such gram, ठीक है, part on the suit of the gram पंचायत. तो बेसिकली कंट्रवेंशन क्या अगर होगा तो इजेक्ट किया जाएगा किसके थ्रू? थ्रू ग्राम पंचायत. याद रखिएगा, थ्रू ग्राम पंचायत. तो contravention of 79 clause 2 is liable to be ejected or suit will be filed by only gram panchayat. First thing. Second thing, they uses the word 85 clause or uses the notwithstanding. Notwithstanding. The use of notwithstanding shows that these provisions have a overriding effects. When I say it have an overriding effect, that means if it is proved that you are using the land in contravention to section 79 clause 2, है ना, 79 clause 2, that is Bhumidhar with non-transferable rights, then without any other remedies that is available against you, without any explanation that is available against in favor of you in the UP Revenue Code, you are liable to be ejected. Or who will do the ejectment? The ejectment will be done by Gram Panchayat. बेदखली कर दिया, आपको बेदखल कर दिया, that is the property will be taken back. If you see 85 का clause 2, what they are saying, where an Assami uses his holding or part thereof for any purpose not permitted by section 84. He shall, notwithstanding anything contained in any other provision of this code, be liable to be ejectment from holding or part thereof on the suit of a landholder. This is Assami contravenes the provisions of section 84 liability. I've changed my Wi-Fi. I have just lost my Wi-Fi connections. Hold on. ठीक है. Just hold on. चलिए. So we are doing Assami is liable to be ejected. But this ejectment will be done on the ground of, on the application of or suit of liable to be ejected on suit of person who gave him Assami rights, basically. तो by the landholder मतलब the government which has given Assami. तो अगर वो ग्राम पंचायत ने उसको असामी बनाया है तो it will be done by ग्राम पंचायत. अगर वो ग्राम सभा ने असामी बनाया तो it will be done by गांव सभा. अगर उसको असामी किसी म्युनिसिपैलिटी कॉर्पोरेशन ने बनाया तो it will be done by municipal corporations. अगर वो असामी किसी और लॉ के थ्रू बनाया तो as per that law, तो जो भी होगा तो who is the real owner of that land at that time, ठीक है, when he was made Assami, that person will apply for the settlement. तो generally it is always ग्राम पंचायत और गांव सभा, यही दो होते हैं बेसिकली, क्योंकि विलेजेस के अंदर ये दो होते हैं. तो बट इट कैन बी एनीवन एल्स आल्सो, ठीक है. तो whosoever have the right, ejectment will be done. If you read section 85 clause 3, what this says, mere ejectment will be done? No, answer is no. This says a decree for ejectment under this section may direct the payment of damages equivalent to the cost of work which may be required to restore the land to the original condition. So mere ejectment is not enough. The damages will also be recovered from the person who changed the nature of the land. Mere ejectment will not be done. Rather, damages will be, cost will be imposed to restore the nature of land. Firstly, so whatever expenditure will be done to restore this nature of the land, they will be given again. Firstly, secondly, where is the application of the ejectment will lies? इनकी जो application of ejectment है, they will lies always to the SDO. तो ejectment process done by SDO. और we called it.
सर मैं सब बरेली से बिलोंग करता हूँ सर. यहाँ पे मैं तहसील में प्रैक्टिस कर रहा हूँ राइट नाउ एज इंटर्न. तो यहाँ पे सर वो कलेक्टर के पास लगाते हैं इसकी एप्लीकेशन, रेवेन्यू कलेक्टर के.
असिस्टेंट कलेक्टर नहीं लगाते?
हाँ सर, रेवेन्यू कलेक्टर जो उनका होता है, हम लोग तो उसको जनरल टर्म में रेवेन्यू कलेक्टर बोलते हैं, उसके पास लगा देते हैं इसकी एप्लीकेशन.
ठीक है. बेसिकली प्रैक्टिस में हो सकता है वहां पे चल रहा हो ये, तो इट इज असिस्टेंट कलेक्टर. तो असिस्टेंट कलेक्टर बेसिकली कौन होते हैं? एसडीओज आर असिस्टेंट कलेक्टर. तो वहां पे अलग से अपॉइंट कर रखा है. अगर रेवेन्यू कलेक्टर तो बात अलग है. तो जनरली इट इज ऑलवेज टू द असिस्टेंट कलेक्टर, राइट?
ओके सर.
इजेक्टमेंट उसको ही थ्रू होगा, तो अगर रेवेन्यू कलेक्टर भी कर रहा होगा तो वो रिपोर्ट एसडीओ को भेज रहा होगा वहां पे भी। प्रोसीडिंग कौन देख रहा है वहां पे? रेवेन्यू कलेक्टर देख रहा है।
यस सर, रेवेन्यू कलेक्टर के ही पास जाती है हमारी एप्लीकेशन, फिर वो नोटिस भेजता है, उसके बाद प्रोसीडिंग शुरू होती है।
हाँ, वो नोटिस सर्व करेगा सब कुछ, बट इट इज डन थ्रू एसडीओ, तो हो सकता है प्रैक्टिस में हो, बट इन एज पर रूल, इफ यू सी द रेवेन्यू रूल, है ना, तो वहां पे रूल नंबर 92, 91 एंड 92 ऑफ रेवेन्यू कोड, रेवेन्यू रूल, है ना, तो they have given power to assistant collector, revenue collector and SDO, तो normally it is done through assistant collector when he is acting, SDO acting as an assistant collector, तो अगर revenue को भी दे रखा है तो okay fine, but it is given to assistant collector in practice, right?
ओके
मतलब
सर।
एज पर रूल प्रैक्टिस में फॉलो कर रहे हैं तो एज पर रूल हमारे यहाँ तो असिस्टेंट कलेक्टर को ही जाता है। इन विच डिस्ट्रिक्ट यू आर प्रैक्टिसिंग, मतलब डूइंग इंटर्नशिप?
तो बरेली है सर मेरा होम डिस्ट्रिक्ट, तो मुझे वहीं प्रैक्टिस करनी है, इसलिए यहीं
नहीं नहीं, कौन सी कोर्ट में आप अभी इंटर्न कर रहे हो?
तो बरेली में तहसील बिथरा चैनपुरी सर, मतलब तहसील देखता हूँ और डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट का मैटर देखता हूँ बरेली।
ठीक है ठीक है। तहसील कौन सी तहसील?
बिथरी चैनपुरी।
अच्छा, चैनपुरी, चैनपुरी।
यस
आई एम इंक्वायरिंग इज दिस बिकॉज आई बिलोंग टू डिस्ट्रिक्ट रामपुर, तो मेरी तहसील के आसपास ही पड़ता है ना सारा बरेली।
ओके सर।
हाँ, ठीक है।
यस सर।
तो आई प्रैक्टिस देयर ओनली, तो अच्छा ठीक है, चल रहा होगा उधर बरेली में। चलिए, तो दिस इज, अब ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड इफेक्ट्स ऑफ, इफेक्ट्स ऑफ इजेक्टमेंट। इसका इफेक्ट क्या होगा इजेक्टमेंट का? लेट अस फाइंड आउट व्हाट इज द इफेक्ट ऑफ इजेक्टमेंट। राइट, गिव सेक्शन 86 is the answer to this. चलिए, let me read. Where a Bhumidhar with non-transferable rights or an Assami has been ejected from an holding or a part thereof in accordance with section 85, all rights and interests of such Bhumidhar and Assami in such holding or part together with any improvement made therein shall stand extinguished. That is, on date of ejectment, Bhumidhar with non-transferable rights and Assami loses its all rights, वो अपने सारे राइट्स को लूज कर जाता है, तो रिलेटेड टू दैट प्रॉपर्टी। राइट, so this is one thing. चलिए आगे रीड करते हैं and try to find out आगे क्या होता है। We have started, if you remember what we have started with, तो हमको एक चीज समझ में आ गया, राइट ऑफ एक्सक्लूसिव पोजीशन, राइट ऑफ एक्सक्लूसिव पोजीशन। अगर राइट ऑफ एक्सक्लूसिव पोजीशन को समझेंगे तो हमको एक चीज क्लियर हो गया, सेक्शन 79(1) में किसको अवेलेबल है? भूमिधर विद ट्रांसफरेबल राइट्स को। सेक्शन 79 क्लॉज 2 में किसको अवेलेबल है? भूमिधर विद नॉन ट्रांसफरेबल राइट्स को। सेक्शन 84 में किसको अवेलेबल है? असामी को। भूमिधर विद नॉन ट्रांसफरेबल राइट्स और असामी अगर कंट्रीब्यूट करते हैं तो सेक्शन 85 में इजेक्टमेंट होगा और इफेक्ट सेक्शन 86 में देखने मिलेगा। दिस इज व्हाट वी हैव डन, ठीक है। इजेक्टमेंट इज जनरली डन बाय असिस्टेंट कलेक्टर, बट हमको अंशुल ने बताया प्रैक्टिस में रेवेन्यू कलेक्टर को भी भेजते हैं, तो बेसिकली हम बोलेंगे रेवेन्यू कलेक्टर को भी, ठीक। रेवेन्यू कलेक्टर वो डिस्ट्रिक्ट में बैठते हैं, ठीक है। चलिए, सेक्शन 86 इज द इफेक्ट। अगर आप 79 क्लॉज 1 बीटीआर मतलब भूमिधर विद ट्रांसफर राइट में जाएंगे, तो मुझे यहाँ पे फिर से वापस आना है। 79 क्लॉज 1 में भूमिधर विद ट्रांसफर राइट, मैंने आई वाज टीचिंग यू, तो मैंने आपको बताया कि यहाँ पे इनका राइट क्या है, दे कैन यूज द प्रॉपर्टी, दे कैन यूज प्रॉपर्टी फॉर व्हाटसएवर पर्पस, whatsoever purpose. They can use the property for whatsoever purpose. When I say whatsoever purpose, what do you mean by whatsoever purpose? तो मैंने आपको बताया whatsoever purpose का मतलब होता है can be used for agriculture land, agriculture, it can be used for non-agriculture. So when I'm saying whatsoever, basically I mean you to say that they can use the property for agriculture or non-agriculture. Agriculture to we understand because UP ZA or UP Revenue Code 2016 deal with agriculture property. So obviously no problem is with this. Now the question that comes is non-agriculture. How Bhumidhar with non-transferable, Bhumidhar with transferable rights use the property for non-agriculture purpose. बताइए किसी को पता है? अंशुल बताओ. How Bhumidhar with transfer right will use land for non-agriculture purpose.
सर नॉन एग्रीकल्चर मतलब या तो सर कोई कॉलेज खोल ले जो शायद एग्रीकल्चर से रिलेटेड हो, लेकिन वो भी इसमें आ जाएगा, लेकिन अपना
मैं तो
बिल्डिंग
आपको
वगैरह भी सर खड़ा कर सकता है क्योंकि
एनीथिंग
इस पे तो कोई रेस्ट्रिक्शन है नहीं,
मैं बात कर
ये
रहा हूँ
कुछ भी कर सकता है उस लैंड में माइनिंग के अलावा, क्योंकि उसके पास कॉर्पस नहीं है लैंड का, तो कॉर्पस के अलावा उसका यूज ऑफ ट्रक को किसी भी तरीके से यूज कर लेगा वो.
आई एम सेइंग बिल्डिंग यूज कर सकता है, आई एम सेइंग कोई स्कूल बना सकता है, आई एम सेइंग ही कैन मेक इंडस्ट्री. ये उसकी पावर है नो डाउट, बट हाउ ही विल मेक द इंडस्ट्री, हाउ ही विल मेक द, ऐसे ही हवा में जाके खुद ही कंस्ट्रक्ट कर लेगा? विल ही कैन ही विल डू दिस एज ही डिजायर? कैन ही start doing use of property as he desire? Answer is no, because if you see section 79 clause 1 is subject to the provision of this code, subject to provision of UP Revenue Code. So whatsoever purpose, no doubt you can use it for non-agriculture purpose, nobody is saying, but it is subject to the provisions of this code. When I say subject to the provisions of this code, answer is section 80. So basically section 80 of UP Revenue Code says if you want to use it for non-agriculture purpose, you have to go for a declaration. You have to obtain a declaration from the SDU. That is if person, when I say person, not person, Bhumidhar will transfer rights. If Bhumidhar with transferable rights want to use land for non-agriculture purpose, he have to obtain declaration from SDU. Let us go into this. तो how this is not the declaration of, एक और declaration पढ़ने वाले हैं 144 में, बात को पढ़ेंगे वो, that is a different thing. This is a declaration of use of land. तो section 80 talk about declaration of use of land. Declaration of use of land for purpose other than agriculture. एग्रीकल्चर पर्पस के अलावा उसका यूज करना है. तो लेट अस go into section 80 and find out how you will obtain the declaration and how you will obtain the use of the land. Okay, before getting into this section 80 की reading, this section 80 deals with two basic concepts, है ना, हम उसको समझ लेते हैं. तो there can be two situations. BTR के केसेस में, भूमिधर विद ट्रांसफर राइट्स में दो केसेस होंगे. First, there can be a condition where BTR already using property for non-agriculture purpose. That is, उसने क्या किया, बिना परमिशन के ऑलरेडी यूज करना शुरू कर दिया, बिकॉज उसने 79(1) के अंदर ऑलरेडी वो अपनी पावर को यूज कर लिया और उसने उसमें घर बना लिया है, या फिर उसने उसमें कमर्शियल पर्पस यूज कर दिया, ही इज ऑलरेडी यूजिंग दैट पर्पस, और देयर कैन बी अ चांस दैट ही डिजायर in future he BTR Bhumidhar will transfer that desires to use its land for non-agricultural purpose. तो दो सिचुएशंस हो सकती हैं, भूमिधर विद ट्रांसफरेबल राइट्स अभी राइट नाउ यूज कर रहा है ऑलरेडी, या फिर अभी नहीं कर रहा है, वो फ्यूचर में करना चाहता है। तो बेसिकली अगर वो यूज कर रहा है तो प्रोविजन इज गिवन अंडर सेक्शन 80 क्लॉज 1, और अगर वो फ्यूचर में यूज करने वाला है तो प्रोविजन इज गिवन 80 क्लॉज 2. This section, so this is declaration. So declaration can be in two phases, given under section 80. This section is amended in 2020. तो मैं आपको 2020 amended recent act पढ़ा रहा हूँ, तो 2020 में ही amend हुआ है और मैं आपको amended part पढ़ा रहा हूँ, ठीक है, नॉन amended part. तो लेट अस गो.
सर ऐसे केसेस में स्यू मोटो भी होता है ना सर, कि मतलब ऑफिसर जो है वो खुद से एग्रीकल्चरल लैंड डिक्लेयर कर दे उसको?
बिल्कुल कर सकता है, एक्जेक्टली 81 में अभी पढ़ेंगे ना, 80 क्लॉज हुआ, तो लेट अस गो टू 80 क्लॉज. That is person is already using, that is Bhumidhar with transfer right already using land for non-agriculture. Let us read section 80 clause 3. I'm reading the clause 1. Where a Bhumidhar with transferable rights uses his land or part thereof for industrial, commercial or residential purpose, the SD officer may suo motu. So this is SDO suo motu, or on application moved by such Bhumidhar, or on application moved by Bhumidhar with transfer rights. याद रखिएगा, ये सो मोटो पावर इज एडेड इन 2016 ओनली, इससे पहले ही पावर नहीं हुआ करती थी. 140 पुराना लॉ था 143, दिस इज एडेड इन 2016 ओनली लॉ ओनली, बट स्टिल इन प्रैक्टिस यू वोंट फाइंड एसडीओ डूइंग दिस सो मोटो. तो प्रैक्टिस में ये आपको कभी मिलेगा ही, इट इज ऑलवेज अपॉन द एप्लीकेशन. व्हाई? बिकॉज इसमें फीस का सीन होता है ना, हम पढ़ेंगे. देयर इज टू बी सम फीस दैट इज टू बी सबमिटेड फॉर यूज ऑफ द लैंड. आगे पढ़ते हैं. SDO may suo motu or on application moved by such Bhumidhar, after making such inquiry as may be prescribed, either make the declaration that the land is being used for the purpose not connected with agriculture or reject the application. So upon application or suo motu. So on application he will do inquiry. He matlab SDO. SDO will do inquiry and then make declaration or reject application. तो एसडीओ क्या करेगा, ये तो डिक्लेरेशन कर देगा, ये एप्लीकेशन रिजेक्ट कर देगा. दिस मेकिंग ऑफ अ डिक्लेरेशन और रिजेक्शन, ये जो प्रोसेस है इज टू बी कंप्लीटेड इन 45 days. इन 40, पहले ये नहीं था, अभी ये एग्जिस्ट करता है. तो दिस इज टू बी कंप्लीटेड इन 45 days. आगे पढ़ता हूँ. एसडी ऑफिसर शैल टेक द डिसीजन ऑफ द एप्लीकेशन विद इन 45 वर्किंग डेज फ्रॉम द डेट ऑफ रिसिप्ट ऑफ द एप्लीकेशन. In case the application is rejected, the SDO shall state the reason in writing for such rejection and inform the applicant. तो अगर application reject हुई है, it should be done by reason and must be informed to the applicant. Must be informed to applicant. तो एसडीओ के पास जब एप्लीकेशन आएगा कन्वर्जन के लिए, नेचर के लिए, उसको 45 डेज में डिसाइड करना है. वो चाहे तो अलाउ करे, चाहे तो डिसअलाउ. बट अगर वो डिसअलाउ करेगा तो ही कैन नॉट डू डिसअलाउइंग ऑफ द एप्लीकेशन विदाउट द रीजन. ही मस्ट स्टेट द रीजन व्हाई ही इज नॉट अलाउइंग दिस. ठीक है. एंड दिस होल प्रोसेस टू बी डन इन 45 डेज. सपोज this is not done in 45 days. Not done in 45 days. That is, decision is not made in 45 days. अगर 45 दिन में डिसीजन नहीं किया जाएगा तब क्या होगा? याद रखिएगा. It will be deemed. It will be deemed that declaration is made. अगर एसडी 45 दिन में इसको ऑर्डर नहीं करेगा तो माना जाएगा कि डिक्लेरेशन कर दी उसने. दैट इज ही हैज मेक अ डिक्लेरेशन एंड दिस इज टू बी रिकॉर्डेड. दिस इज टू बी रिकॉर्डेड इन लैंड रिकॉर्ड्स. व्हेन आई से लैंड रिकॉर्ड्स मतलब खतौनी बाय तहसीलदार. दिस विल बी रिकॉर्डेड बाय द तहसीलदार. ये बात कि फोटो क्या लिखेगा तहसीलदार, तो जनरली तहसीलदार विल राइट व्हाट तहसीलदार विल राइट that declaration is deemed to be made as no declaration decided within 45 days. फिर आगे लिखेगा however such declaration is subject to decision of SDO. This is how he will make a declaration. This is a provision added in this law. This is a proviso. If you read the proviso for me, I will say read the latter part of the proviso. Provided that, मैं रीड कर रहा हूँ प्लीज, अगर आपका बेरा एक्ट है तो आप देख सकते हैं. प्रोवाइडेड दैट इफ द डिक्लेरेशन इज नॉट, मैं प्रोवाइडेड दैट के बाद 2 लाइनें छोड़ के नीचे वाली लाइन रीड कर रहा हूँ. प्रोवाइडेड दैट इफ द डिक्लेरेशन इज नॉट मेड बाय एसडीओ विद 45 days as aforesaid, then the declaration shall be deemed to have been made. Tahsildar will make a record of it in a revenue records with a comment subject to the order of SDO. This is how we have to make the declaration. Another thing, one thing that SDO have to keep in mind. What is this? That if application under section 80 clause 1 is made with full fees, तो जो फी होती है दैट इज द फी फॉर डिक्लेरेशन दैट इज डिसाइडेड बाय द गवर्नमेंट विल डिसाइड. ठीक है. और इफ इट इज जॉइंट होल्डिंग, इफ इट इज जॉइंट होल्डिंग, अगर ये जॉइंट होल्डिंग है, देन इफ नो ऑब्जेक्शन इज प्लेस्ड बाय जॉइंट ओनर, तब क्या होगा? तो अगर एप्लीकेशन आई है और एप्लीकेशन में जो फी है वो टेन्योर होल्डर ने सबमिट कर दी है, या फिर टेन्योर होल्डर एक नहीं है बहुत सारे और सब ने एक साथ एप्लीकेशन दिए विदाउट एनी ऑब्जेक्शन और फी भी सबमिट कर दी है, तो इन सच सिचुएशन में एसडीओ शुड अलाउ एप्लीकेशन. दिस इज अ कंडीशन ऑफ द. तो अगर सारा कुछ फुलफिल हो गया है सब्जेक्ट टू द प्रोविजन ऑफ दिस कोड, अगर वो लैंड ऑलरेडी यूज हो रही है नॉन एग्रीकल्चर पर्पस के लिए, ठीक है, तो एसडीओ शुड अलाउ इट. व्हाट दिस इज, अगर प्रोवाइजो में लिखा हुआ, फर्स्ट प्रोवाइजो को लिखता हूँ, फिर से मैं रीड कर रहा हूँ. Provided that if the application for declaration is accompanied with the prescribed fee, and in case joint holding, no objection of a co-tenure holder is attached. In the case of co-tenure holder, ठीक है, then, and if the declaration is not made by SDO, the 45 days as aforesaid, that the declaration shall be deemed to have been made, है ना? So it should be allowed generally. It is allowed. And if not allowed, in 45 days, deemed to be allowed, you know, deemed to be allowed. It's deemed to be allowed. So this is the provision of 81 clause 1. Suppose any person is not happy. So suppose, example is suppose SDO reject application of section 80 clause 1. तो SDO ने क्या किया, application 80 clause 1 को reject कर दिया. What is the remedy available to you? So what this is, if you read section 81 का last 80 clause 1 का last proviso के नीचे वाली line, if any affected party wants to file an objection in relation to the said declaration, he may file an objection to the competent court. तो application reject हो गई है, ये allowed है, but someone want to object it. Allowed हो गई, but it is want to be objected. Then they can do it in competent court. So they can do so in a competent court. When I say, what do you mean by the word competent court? So basically this provision is added in 2020 only. And they have used the word competent court, and this is the mistake in this law, because they have not clarified what do you mean by competent law. What do you mean by competent court? This is not written. So for the time being, competent court basically means civil court. For the time being, I am doing it. I am saying it, but in law it is nowhere written what do you mean by the word competent court. So this is a mistake in the section 80 clause 1 का law. So it will be changed soon, because ये amendment में शायद वो लिखना भूल गए जल्दी. 2020 में कोविड था ना, तो शायद पैनिक हो गया. Competent court को explain करना भूल गए, what do you mean by court of competent jurisdiction in these cases. क्योंकि SDO है तो it can be collector also, it can be commissioner also, और it can be any person also. क्योंकि SDO की अपील है, पर जब आप competent court करते हैं तो civil court भी competent हो जाती है. तो ये क्लियर ही नहीं है कौन है कलेक्टर है, असिस्टेंट कलेक्टर होगा, बिकॉज एसडीओ इज असिस्टेंट कलेक्टर. तो नॉर्मली एसडीओ की एप्लीकेशंस अपील कहा जाती है, कलेक्टर हो जाती है, तो इट कैन बी कलेक्टर आल्सो. दिस इज नॉट क्लियर राइट. So this is how declaration is made under the provision of section 80 clause 1. When I say 80 clause 1, I basically mean to say that the cases in which the person already is using the land for non-agriculture purpose, तो वो already use कर रहा है non-agriculture purpose के, तब 81 clause 1 में 80 के clause 1 में application जाएगी. This is the manner of doing the declaration, as you will do in 45 days, right? But suppose somebody bhumidhar with transferable rights want to use its holding for non-agriculture purpose. In future, तो अभी यूज नहीं कर रहा है, वो फ्यूचर में यूज करना चाहते हैं स्लाइड को. How this can be, this also can be converted. The declaration will be done under section 80 clause 2. ऐसी जो डिक्लेरेशन होंगी उनकी डिक्लेरेशन जो होगी 80 clause 2 होगी. और हम बात को डिफरेंस भी पढ़ेंगे, व्हाट इज द बेसिक डिफरेंस बिटवीन 80 clause 1 80 clause 2, उसके इफेक्ट्स में बहुत डिफरेंस है ना. व्हाट इज द इफेक्ट्स के डिफरेंसेस हैं वो समझिए. चलिए, when I say where a भूमिधर with the transferable right 80 clause 2 रीड करते where a भूमिधर with the transferable rights proposes to use in future his holding or part thereof for industrial, commercial, or residential purpose. The SDO may, on application moved by such bhumidhar, after making such inquiry as may be prescribed, either make a declaration of the land may be used for the prescribed, may be used for the purpose not connected with the agriculture, or may reject the application within 45 days of the date of receipt of the application. Okay. In the case the application is rejected, the SDO shall state the reason in writing such rejection and inform applicant of the decision. तो 80 clause 2 में basically suo motu allowed नहीं है. So basically it is not suo motu. तो 80 clause 2 में it is always on application to SDO. You know, SDO have to decide the application. SDO have to decide application. Have to decide application. Within 45. ठीक है. When I said decided, he may allow or reject. ठीक है. If reject, it must provide reasons for sale. No. And inform applicant. उसको रीजन देना पड़ेंगे, उसको इन्फॉर्म करना पड़ेगा. दिस इज 80 क्लॉज 2, बट ये सब कुछ नहीं है. इफ यू रीड फर्दर तो सारा गेम वहां आने वाला है. Provided that the declaration under this subsection, there must exist a boundary wall surrounding the holding part thereof which is proposed to be used. तो याद रखिएगा 80 clause 2 की एप्लीकेशन के लिए फर्स्ट थिंग, before 80 clause 2 application, applicant have to make a boundary wall on property he proposed to be used for non-agriculture purpose. ठीक है. तो पहली कंडीशन है 80 क्लॉज 2 के अंदर. देखिए 80 क्लॉज 1 में तो ऑलरेडी वो यूज कर रहा है, 80 क्लॉज 2 में वो फ्यूचर में यूज करने को बोल रहा है. तो वो जिस प्रॉपर्टी को फ्यूचर में यूज, द प्रॉपर्टी विच इज डिजायर to you be used in future as a non-agriculture property, first of all before making an application he have to create a boundary marks of that property. अब boundary marks का मतलब क्या है? You have to make पक्का इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, मतलब बाउंड्रीज. खाली वायर खड़ी करने से या डंडे खड़ी करने से काम नहीं बनेगा. यू हैव टू बिल्ड अ वॉल अपॉन दैट, राइट? फर्स्टली थिंग. सेकंड, प्रोवाइडेड फर्दर that if he fails to start the proposed non-agriculture activity within period of 5 years from the date of declaration under this section, declaration under subsection 2 holding shall lapse. This is the second situation. Once declaration allowed, he have to start non-agriculture work within 5 years of declaration. तो एक बार अगर उसको डिक्लेरेशन मिल गई 80 क्लॉज 2 में, तो उसको वो जो अपना वर्क है वो उसको स्टार्ट करना पड़ेगा 5 साल के अंदर अंदर. इफ फेल्स टू डू सो डिक्लेरेशन लैप्स. ठीक है, डिक्लेरेशन लैप्स कर जाती है. थर्ड सिचुएशन, वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट सिचुएशन. provided that the declaration under this subsection shall not amount to a change of land use and the land shall continue to be treated as an agricultural land only. However, the Bhumidhar shall be entitled to obtain the loan and necessary permissions, clearance, etc. for the activity of a project proposed to be holding, which the declaration under subsection has been. This is important. This is very important for us. This is that declaration of 80 clause 2 will not change the nature of land. याद रखिएगा बेसिकली 80 क्लॉज 1 क्या होता है 80 क्लॉज 1 की खासियत होती है कि अगर 80 क्लॉज 1 में डिक्लेरेशन हुआ है तो नेचर ऑफ द लैंड इज चेंज्ड दैट इज it will be presumed that it is non-agricultural land. That is, UPZA LR Act will not apply upon the declaration of 80 clause 1. Why I am focusing upon this? Because if declaration is under section 80 clause 1, UP revenue code stop applying it. दैट इज आपके वो पर्सनल लॉ में लगेंगे जैसे हिंदू जॉइंट हिंदू फैमिली प्रॉपर्टी की तरह होते हैं पर्सनल प्रॉपर्टी होती है सक्सेशन हिंदू लॉ से गवर्न हो जाएगी ठीक है जेड की नहीं रहेगी प्रॉपर्टी एग्रीकल्चर लैंड से बाहर आ जाएगी तो दैट मीन्स जो भी कंडीशंस एग्रीकल्चर लैंड की हैं वो इस पर लगना बंद हो जाएंगी तो इट विल बी कंसिडर्ड एज कमर्शियल लैंड तो इसके ऊपर कमर्शियल लॉज लगने लगेंगे बट अगर 80 क्लॉज 2 में ऐसा हुआ है तो 80 क्लॉज 2 की डिक्लेरेशन में दिस इज नॉट अलाउड 80 क्लॉज 2 में डिक्लेरेशन होने के बाद भी इट विल बी कंटिन्यू टू बी एग्रीकल्चर लैंड तो how it will change what this says further basically in order to change क्या होना पड़ता है once Bhumidhar with transferable right starts its business within 5 years तो एक बार डिक्लेरेशन के बाद अगर within 5 years में स्टार्ट किया he will apply for 80 clause 1 declaration तो क्या करेगा अगर भूमिधर विद ट्रांसफर राइट ने अपना 5 साल के अंदर काम शुरू कर दिया तो ही विल अप्लाई फॉर 81 डिक्लेरेशन एंड नाउ 80 clause 1 declaration will be made declaration will be made and what is the effect UP revenue code will not apply anymore. Apply after declaration. Right. This is given under 80 clause 3. If I read 80 clause 3, what does this say? This says a Bhumidhar possession declaration under sections clause 2 for this holding or part thereof may apply to SDO after converting the declarations under subsection 2 to the declaration under subsection 1 after completion of a construction activity or start the proposed non-agriculture activity within the period of 5 years from the declaration under section 2. On receipt of such application, SDO officer will make inquiry necessary and shall approve or reject the application within 15 days. From the receipt of application, in the case of rejection, he shall record the reason for such rejection, provided that for conversions of declaration under subsection 2 to a declaration into subsection 1, the Bhumidhar shall be liable to pay only the balance amount of fee calculated at prevailing circle rates after adjusting the amount already paid by him in declaration under the subsection 2. Simple. तो दिस इज ये एप्लीकेशन जाएगी अंडर 80 क्लॉज 2 15 डेज में डिसाइड होगी 15 डेज टू बी डिसाइडेड और क्या रिमेनिंग फीस टू बी सबमिटेड कौन डिसाइड करेगा कितनी फीस है स्टेट विल डिसाइड पूरा प्रोविजन है स्टेट डिसाइड करता है हर बार इफ यू सी सेक्शन 80 का क्लॉज 9 दिस इज द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट मे फिक्स द स्केल ऑफ फीस for declaration under this section, and different fees may be different purposes. तो हर पर्पस के लिए अलग अलग फीस है, वो हर बार गवर्नमेंट डिसाइड करती है और एसडीओ के पास वो लिस्ट होती है और आपको वो लिस्ट देखने मिल सकती है रजिस्ट्रार ऑफिस के. This is how declaration is made under 80 clause 1 and 80 clause 2 and 80 clause 3 effect. After that, if you have to, there are other clauses of also 80 clause 4, 5, 6, 7. 80 clause 4, 5, 6, 7 basically tell about that SDO when have to allow or when have to reject the application. So they says if the non-agriculture use of a land is of such a nature which will affect the public utilities or which will create public nuisances, the applications can be rejected. Okay. Otherwise, it should always be allowed. So this is how it is to be done. Further, it says कि suppose mere allowing the non-agriculture land is not enough. Suppose that non-agriculture land lies into some development area, industrial development area, and for the purpose of the creating an industry, there is a need of the permissions of other authorities only. Then mere declaration from the SDO that yes, you can use this land for the industry will not per se serve the purpose. You have to obtain the other necessary permissions also, which is required to start a project. Okay. That is all being discussed under section 84 clause 80 clause 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is what. So today we have done one right, that is right of exclusive possession and how they varies in the cases of Bhumidhar with transferable right, in the cases of Bhumidhar with non-transferable rights, and in the cases of Assamese. Right. Any questions that you want to ask, you can ask me. Right.